News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. Here's your closing bell for this Friday on Wall Street, where stocks rose as President Trump said the U.S. is doing well in negotiations with China. We'll have much more on that just ahead. But first, let's bring you those closing numbers. We do it each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained 35 points. NASDAQ gained 117 points. The Dow gained 238 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4% and the 2-year yield at 3.45%. We'll get back to the China talks just ahead, but first, President Trump hosted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today at the White House, and Trump signaled he may not be ready to agree to sell Kyiv a long-range missile system that the Ukrainians say they desperately need.
It's not easy for us to give. You're talking about massive numbers of very powerful weapons. So that's one of the things we'll be talking about. Hopefully they won't need it. Hopefully we'll be able to get the war over with without thinking about tomahawks.
And Trump acknowledged that Putin may be just trying to buy himself some time.
I've been played all my life by the best of them, and I came out really well. So it's possible, yeah, a little time. It's all right. But I think that I'm pretty good at this stuff. I think that he wants to make a deal.
Zelensky told President Trump that he now has a big chance to finish this war.
With your help, we can stop this war. And we really need it. We see that they don't have successful steps on the battlefield, and it's good. I think that their army is weak now, but a lot of losses. They have a lot of losses.
Trump and Zelensky are meeting just a day after an hours-long phone call between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. And Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk says he and several other leaders will speak with Zelensky by phone after today's White House meeting. Tusk told the European Forum of New Ideas he's waiting for positive signals that the U.S. will offer more support to Ukraine. Now, the reason the markets bounced back, President Trump says high threatened tariffs with China are not viable. The president made those comments to Fox Business ahead of an expected face-to-face meeting with China's Xi Jinping, for whom he had high praise.
I think we're going to do fine with China. I get along great with him. He's a very strong leader, a very amazing man. You look at what he's done and what he's, where his life is an amazing story. It's a story for a great movie.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, meanwhile, says he'll speak with his Chinese counterpart, Vice Premier Hu Lifeng, this evening ahead of a likely in-person meeting in Malaysia in a week.
I think that things have de-escalated. We hope that China will show the respect that we have shown them.
The upcoming meeting will mark the fifth round of talks with China. Malaysia's capital is set to host a summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations next week. John Bolton has pleaded not guilty to charges of mishandling classified information. The former national security advisor for President Trump was released from custody after this morning's court appearance. Bolton is accused of sharing with his wife and daughter more than 1,000 pages of notes that included sensitive information he had gleaned from meetings with other U.S. government officials, foreign leaders, and intelligence briefings. This is the third Justice Department case brought against a perceived adversary of President Trump. St. Louis Fed President Alberto Musalem says he could support another interest rate reduction to bolster a slowing labor market under some conditions.
If there are further risks to the labor market that emerge, and provided that inflation, the risk to persistence of inflation above target is contained, and provided inflation expectations are expected to remain anchored. So that's my kind of overall framework.
Musalem tells Bloomberg's Mike McKee at the IIF panel officials should make decisions meeting by meeting given the economic uncertainty. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.